Hi, everyone, and welcome to the very last episode of our Planets Through Houses. Yes, it's a quite sad day, not to mention the tragedies that happened in Connecticut on Friday. Really just, have my emotions in a very turbulent mode, especially after finding out some of these children suffered 10 to 15 bullet wounds in their body. 7-year-olds, 10-year-olds. Can we talk about gun control law in this country now? Or is it too much? So I kind of didn't want to make this video today, but then, I have so much to do right now that this is the only time that I can. So here I am. Well, so Mercury in the 12th house. What happens when Mercury comes into your 12th house? What is 12th house? 12th house represents losses, losses of all kind, loss of love, loss of wealth, loss of peace of mind, you know, whatever planet signifies, loss of education, loss of intellect. And 12th house is a house of spirituality because only after losses do we get to really experience the true essence of this existence. So this is why it's considered the true house of spirituality, true house of connecting with the spirits of astral dimension, connecting with the people of the other realm, not just ghosts, but beings of the other realm, of other dimensions. It represents things that we are not familiar with. This is why it's the house of foreign lands, foreign settlements. And due to the modern economic times, especially in the past 50 years, it has become the house of foreign trades through water, because this is originally the house of water, and doing international trade involves going across water. So you put Mercury here. Mercury, which is your intelligence, your logical mind, which is your ability to speak. It's your speech, it's your communication, it is your ability to write, it's your ability to logically calculate things and use your intelligence to come upon a conclusion on these things. So when it's in the 12th house, it is one of the unique places for this planet to be in, especially knowing that this planet represents your intellect and your logical mind. These people are the ones who, at least especially in the early age, do not communicate too much, are very, shy in communication. They're very secretive because 12th house represents your hidden talents, your hidden enemies, and the things hidden from the world. Isolation. 12th house also represents jails and represents hospitals, which I forgot to mention. So here, these people tend to, use their intelligence and use their logical mind, but not in a way you think. Because remember, Mercury is a receptor. He is a messenger in astrology. So whichever house he's placed in, he's going to give message and communication according to the significance of that house. Like in the 9th house, he is giving you a logical and intellectual reasoning to believe in higher education. He communicates with with intelligence of higher kind of advanced PhDs and philosophical learning and the religious learning and communicating to people through that. If it's in the 5th house, your communication becomes very romantic, very creative, artistic, mainly artistic, and you thrive on learning and education, your basic education. If it's in the 8th house, you become your communication becomes very occult-like, secretive. So 12th house, what happens is 12th house is a house of other dimension, spiritual world. So you become the communicator of the spirits. You have the intuitive and strong psychic ability to get the communication from this other world and communicate it to the real world. And so this is why these people don't communicate a lot. They become quite shy because when they communicate, they do not, their logical mind and their logical intelligence comes from imaginative world, comes from the world that is not seen, that is not understood. So that's why they're misunderstood. Their intelligence get misunderstood. And obviously, since this is a house of losses, your speech is lost. Either you have trouble speaking or you just don't speak too much. But this is one of the very strong places to make of a brilliant writer. If there's nothing else that this produces, it produces a tremendous talent in writing and putting your imagination through. Your intelligence is very imaginative, and you communicate that through written words, because Mercury is speech, and when the speech is isolated, the best way to communicate is through your hands. And if you look at Einstein, Mercury was in the sign of Pisces in the 10th house. And he was very spiritual in his approach to communicating his scientific theories. His scientific theories were very unorthodox, were very much part of an imagination more than analytical and logical skills. And that's how he won over people, through those things. And so here, being a brilliant writer, it also makes you a very spiritual person, somebody who might be connected with the other world, especially if Mercury is in a water sign and if Mercury is in the earth sign. It will really help you in the earth sign stabilize your intelligence and feel a bit more calmer than, let's say, if it was an air sign or dual sign like Gemini, not being able to concentrate at all on anything. But your true intelligence, your true concentration comes from an imaginative world, from the world of connecting with the astral realm. You become like an antenna for the spirit guides to send their message out through you. That means astrologers. 5th and 12th house is a very strong position for Mercury when it comes to doing astrology, because your intuitive mind becomes now your intuitive intelligence, because Mercury is your intelligence. Your intuition, your intelligence and calculated things become so powerful because it's based on intuition of spiritualism, intuition of the power of the unknown, the secret world. What happens with this placement is that if a teacher gave you a problem, or teacher gave these people a problem, that okay, find the variable rate of this mathematical problem. Well, these people will tend to shut down because of the fact when they use their mind needs to be isolated. Their mind needs to be by themselves for them to really concentrate on solving this problem. Does this mean they cannot solve this problem? Yes, they can. But for them, instead of looking at something through numbers, this planet, Mercury in the 12th house, concentrate on the intuitive and imaginative solution to the problem. They have to be in their mind by themselves, not around people, for them to solve that problem. And if you look at Einstein again, it's the same thing. Mercury in Pisces or Mercury in 12th house. He worked alone. He didn't even attend school. He wanted to be by himself with his thoughts, solving problems. And so and he still said he still had trouble, doing mathematics. He still had trouble, but when he used his intuitive mind and his imagination, the math became art. So here, for Mercury, in order to solve any scientific, mathematical, or logical problem, it needs to become a piece of art for them to solve. If a teacher tells them you have this much time to solve this problem, otherwise you're going to get a B, they'll probably get an F. Or you have this much time, and if you don't solve it, then I might give you a C. They'll fail because they need to intuitively go within themselves, use their imagination, not have anybody around them, because 12th house is about isolation. So intelligence, for it to work, it needs to be isolated. And so if you have a child with this placement, do not try to put them on spot in front of other people. That, okay, do this, do that. How are you? How is this? Why don't you show them how to dance? Why don't you show them? They will not do it. They would run away. They would be shy. And then you will not understand why they're doing this, and you will be mad at them. Why is my kid, doesn't want to interact with you? Well, because his intelligence really works in the astral level. Some people are born that way. And especially depending on the sign that Mercury is placed in, that intuitive imagination will project itself through. If it's in a Cancerian sign, then he will project it through more of a intuitive emotionalness. They'll have to emotionally connect to that mathematical problem. That will take more time for them to solve it. If it's in Aries, it'll be their imagination will be running wild. And they would want to solve it really quickly. Their intelligent mind, because Aries become a sign of impulsiveness. They will impulsively try to, solve the problem, yet they will struggle at that. If it's in the sign of Virgo, then it becomes a very earthy, grounded sign. And it being in the 12th house, their imagination and their calculativeness will help them to solve that problem, And so not only this placement represents somebody who also, because Mercury is not only communication, it's business and management. So these people do trades, international business, They're able to become mediators, language mediators between two foreign corporations, two foreign, entities. So they could become that middleman who communicates with A and B and helps them communicate. So interpreter can be seen with this placement, but more so, this is a very spiritual place for intelligence to be. Anything you do must have an imagination, must have peace and quiet around you in order for you to use your Mercury to the max. Okay, and since Mercury's aspect is now on the 6th house of dealing with conflicts, dealing with enemies, dealing with debts, dealing with litigation, your intuitive mind tries to run away from that. Even though as much as Mercury is curious to solve them, you run away from that. You only want to solve those 6th house problems from your own little den, your own little private sanctuary. All right? So guys, this is my analysis of Mercury in the 12th house. And in a way, this is really not ending our planets through houses series. Because guess what? One day we'll be doing planets through certain sign and through certain nakshatra in a certain house. So Mercury in Kritika nakshatra in the 1st house, what does that mean? What does it mean in the 4th house? So it's really not the end, but for the basic major part, yes, it's the end. So, tomorrow I'll announce what we're going to be doing next. Otherwise, if you're new to my channel, subscribe below, above, wherever you see the subscription button, because a lot more stuff to come. And if you want to know where your Mercury is placed, check out the link below. Check out my book there, Astrology at the Speed of Light. And when you get the book, I will send you to the link to look at your own chart. Otherwise, I'll see you tomorrow, ladies and gentlemen. Peace. Hey, what's up, all you chaos lovers? So make sure you rate, comment, and subscribe to my channel. And please share my channel with all your family and friends who are in love with astrology. Because I'm the man when it comes to astrology, okay? So make sure you do that. And I will see you tomorrow with another cool new video, okay? Sorry, I love my coffee spiked. Woo!